Ladies and gentlemen, Behind the Line proudly presents to you another exciting edition of the Woke! Turning on the Woke! This episode is brought to you by the ultimate victim. Have you recently been unjustly fired? Has your woke welfare expired due to circumstances beyond your control? Are you losing sleep at night, worried about how you're going to pay for the repairs on your climate-friendly broom? If you have been fired and woke welfare expired, the ultimate victim will fight for your right to retire. Our highly trained professionals are experts in the field of victimization. Whether it's mythical racism or homophobia, fatphobic or misogyny, our experts will create so much confusion, Donnie will think he is Connie. Right now, the ultimate victim is having a 2-for-1 special where you get 2 causes for the price of 1. Combine mythical racism with misogyny today by visiting theultimatevictim.com. It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing how fast they can coordinate fake outrage. Early Sunday morning, it's reported that MSNBC has finally fired the wicked weave Joy Reid. Throughout the day on Sunday, normal people were praising MSNBC for making this decision. After years of propaganda, after years of attempting to create racial division, after years of exploiting her own community with impunity, the balding beauty was finally forced to accept the consequences of her actions. There is no denying the fact that MSNBC made the right decision here, besides the fact that the artist formerly known as Weave was no longer drawing good ratings. Her entire mainstream media career was based on a gimmick. Joy Reid based the foundation of her career on the myth of mythical racism. Now, this was a very lucrative business in 2020 and 2021. When Joy Reid premiered on MSNBC in the summer of 2020, she was one of the most watched shows in primetime cable news. But as the business of mythical racism declined, so did her ratings. If you are going to build your career on a gimmick, you have got to be able to adapt. At some point, you're going to be forced to rely on your talent to maintain your audience. Unfortunately for Joy Reid, her only talent is creating and exploiting fake racism. Once the myth of mythical racism was exposed, the gimmick was over. Throughout the day on Sunday, MSNBC was being praised for their decision. But yesterday, deacons at Woke United Methodist, they came out in full force. Like I told you guys yesterday, I think MSNBC has wanted to fire Joy Reid for years now. A couple of years ago, there were rumors that Joy Reid would be fired after 3 months of record low ratings. The reason I believe that she was not fired at the time, MSNBC was scared. They were scared of the overreactions. They were scared of the accusations. They were scared of being accused of mythical racism. If Joy Reid had been fired in 2022 or 2023, the fake outrage and the backlash, it might have been effective. But in the year of our Lord 2025, with her pretend friends in the mainstream media lacking credibility, the outrage is no longer effective. It's comedic. It took less than 24 hours for the accusations of mythical racism to surface. Keith Olbermann, Keithy Boo! The purveyor of poo, he is accusing MSNBC of a racist purge. The evil white man is whitewashing our network. He is getting rid of all the people who can't draw flies to a fresh turd. It's unfair. It's unjust. It's racism, damn it. Ah! The overreaction from Keith Olbermann, that is to be expected. Keithy cries on his cat's shoulders when a white official calls a foul on an innocent black player in the NBA. Keithy is so dedicated to diversity, he makes sure all of his cats are different races. It was not surprising to see the overreaction from Pooh, but I was somewhat surprised to see the reaction from Rachel Maddow, mainly because Rach was able to demonize her own network. Rach was able to demonize her own bosses on their platform. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. This morning on the second channel, talked about former NBA player Channing Frye claiming that nostalgia is ruining the NBA. He insinuated that ESPN is one of the reasons that the NBA is struggling. He was blaming nostalgia. He was blaming the media. Channing Frye, he was blaming everyone except the people responsible for the NBA's demise, Adam Silver and the players. So if you haven't already, head over to the second channel and subscribe. Last night, the Wicked Weave made her final appearance on MSNBC, which means Joy Reid, she made her final appearance in the mainstream media. My inside sources are telling me that Joy Reid applied for woke welfare at CNN. Unfortunately, CNN has already met their diversity quota for baldness. Boris Sanchez, Van Jones, the donut diva Brian Stelter can't have too many balding beauties on screen at the same time because the reflection from the lights, it blinds the camera. Obviously, Joy Reid has no chance of landing a job at Fox News. She won't be hired at Newsmax. I doubt Chris Cuomo. Hey, it's me, Chrissy C! I doubt Chris Cuomo has a need for the services of Joy Reid at News Nation. You see, most of these other networks, they moved on from mythical racism years ago. There is no need in the marketplace for an expert on mythical racism. After Joy Reid said goodbye to the friends and family who were still watching her primetime dump, it was time for Rachel Maddow, the only host at MSNBC who still has the ability to draw an audience. Most nights, Rach will open her show with fresh propaganda about the Trumper. Hey friends, it's me, Rach. I have breaking news for you tonight. Oh, it's really bad. But last night, Rach was not in the mood to break news. She wasn't feeling the spirit of propaganda. Rachel Maddow opened the show by eulogizing the career of her fallen comrade, which is fine. That's fine. I'm sure Rach and Weave have become close over the years. Sunday mornings attending services at Woke United Methodist. Monday afternoons arriving at the parking lot together, parking their brooms. Monday nights together in prime time, reminiscing about mythical oppression. Candlelit dinners talking about the plight of the ultimate victim. I'm sure Rachel Maddow is going to miss her sister in Woke. But instead of eulogizing her career, Rachel Maddow decided to place blame. Now imagine my surprise when Rachel Maddow insinuates that mythical racism played a role in Joy Reid getting fired. Watch for yourself.
Joy is not taking a different job in the network. She is leaving the network altogether. And that is very, very, very hard to take. There is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid. I love everything about her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC, and personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door. It is not my call, and I understand that, but that's what I think. I will tell you, it is also unnerving to see that on a network where we've got two non-white hosts in primetime, both of our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows, as is Katie Fang on the weekend. And that feels worse than bad, no matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible, and I do not defend it.
This is why MSNBC has no credibility. This is why Rachel Maddow has been struggling to maintain her audience. Rachel Maddow has been in the business of television for 2 decades. She knows the game. This is not show friends, it's show business. In this business, there's only one metric that matters: ratings. When I wake up every morning to check my analytics, the first thing I look at, daily views. Why? Because that's how I get paid. Nothing else matters. The only thing that matters is how many people watch my videos and how long they watched. Rachel Maddow knows exactly why Joy Reid got fired. You see, When you're controversial, when you're creating stories of racism, when you're a constant headache for the network, you can get away with it as long as you're performing. For decades, Howard Stern was an absolute nuisance for management. The FCC was constantly fining radio stations for carrying the Howard Stern show. You want to know why Howard Stern never got fired? Well, Casey, he did get fired. He was fired in the 80s from NBC. Yeah, that was a monumental mistake. But you want to know why he didn't get fired after that? Because Howard Stern had the #1 radio show in the country. When you're a top performer, you can get away with damn near anything. It's the same thing with Joy Reid. Now, to her credit, Joy Reid has not changed. The Joy Reid that you see in 2025 is the same Joy Reid that you saw in 2020 and 2021. Joy Reid didn't change. Her audience did. The reason Joy Reid was fired, she failed to adapt to that change. She failed to notice that her audience was changing. Over the last few months, Joy Reid has been consistently beaten by CNN in the ratings. Now, overall, her audience was larger than CNN, but that's not surprising. I mean, SpongeBob and his square dance gets more viewers than CNN does. But where Joy Reid was losing to CNN, where Joy Reid was finishing in last place every night, the key demo. The 25 to 54 demo. It is the most important demo in cable news. That demo represents the working class. That demo represents the people who spend money. That demo represents the two generations that are currently running the country, at least in terms of economics. Last week, Joy Reid averaged 59,000 viewers in the demo. The numbers don't lie. You can blame racism, you can blame misogyny, but the real reason Joy Reid was fired, she fell off. Rachel Maddow also claimed that it's a difficult time right now in the news business. She claimed that the mainstream media is under attack. Now, this is another case of the media giving you a partial truth, the shit sandwich. Rachel Maddow's not lying. The media is under attack, but what she's not telling you is the attack is actually accountability. The media is finally being held accountable for their lies. Media is finally being held accountable for their propaganda. I'm sure morale is low right now at MSNBC. I'm sure people are worried. If you're spreading the woke fungus and you're not drawing an audience, you're going to be fired. And Joy Reid is proof that the woke fungus is no longer a draw. Give me your thoughts on this. Rachel Maddow criticizes her own network for firing Joy Reid. She insinuates that mythical racism is the reason, when the reality is Joy Reid just couldn't draw flies to a fresh turd. Could Rachel Maddow be next? Could MSNBC be slowly eradicating the woke fungus? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.